Hello, welcome to The Update. I'm Abby Smith. A federal Liberal MP is concerned the debate over the legislation for a referendum on the voice to Parliament will further divide the nation. Keith Wallahan was Deputy Chair of the Joint Committee considering a bill to change the Constitution. He says there's stark divisions in Parliament after one day of debating the referendum.
The government actually has a legal obligation to be even-handed, and if they're not, then there's potential redress in the courts, but it shouldn't have to get to that. And one of the other things I think is very disappointing in this debate is how instead of engaging in ideas, many are jumping to attack motive or the person.
There's a new search for the body of Madeleine McCann 16 years after she disappeared. She went missing when she was 3 years old during a holiday with her parents in Portugal. Europe correspondent Edward Goffrey says it's the first significant search since 2014.
There's been a lot of, criticism over the years, over the initial handling of the case and the investigations. But here we are now, heading back to not far from where she disappeared, 50 kilometres away, with a very sudden, as you say, and a major search about to commence.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Australia for a two-day trip to strengthen defence ties and finalise free trade talks. He will address 20,000 people in Western Sydney tonight alongside Anthony Albanese. To the US, in a case which has shocked the world, student Brian Kohberger has faced court over the alleged stabbing of 4 Idaho students last year. The 28-year-old and his attorney stood silent, meaning the judge entered a not guilty plea and ordered Kohberger to be held without bail until his trial starts. Back home, pharmacists claim they'll be forced to close on the weekend when a 60-day dispensing is introduced. The National Pharmaceutical Services Association says the change will trigger complex logistics issues. 4 in 5 chemists are also planning to discontinue aged care health services. An International Space Station is rolling out the welcome mat for 4 astronauts on board SpaceX's chartered flight. Entertainment and sport next. A shock coaching decision at the Richmond Football Club, with Damien Hardwick set to announce his departure. Hardwick's been at the helm for 13 years, guiding the Tigers to 3 premierships. Collingwood's Craig McRae left in shock at the news on Fox Footy.
Yeah, a bit of shock, to be honest, particularly this time of the year, round 10. But having worked with Demery, he's an incredible coach, and I'm sure that Richmond Football Club will salute him well.
The game's current longest-serving coach will front the media this morning. Meantime, Collingwood's Nick Dacos has escaped with a fine for striking Carlton's Blake Acres. The decision means Dacos is still in the running for a Brownlow. The tribunal will sit tonight, with Melbourne challenging Lachie Hunter's one-game ban for front-on contact. Queensland has unveiled its squad for Game 1 of the 2023 State of Origin series. Coach Billy Slater confident he's struck the right balance, including handing Reece Walsh an Origin debut. Meantime, the Waratahs are considering resting players from this weekend's match against the Crusaders. In entertainment news, he's back. Arnold Schwarzenegger is putting experience to good use. The Terminator actor has just accepted a new role with Netflix as Chief Action Officer. He'll bring us the most explosive series and films, which shouldn't be too hard for the actor to do. He may have smashed it up while playing in the 90s, but Kurt Cobain's guitar has sold for a whopping 10 times the estimated amount at auction. The late Nirvana frontman destroyed it while recording the group's Nevermind album, but it was put back together and sold for nearly $60,000. Beyoncé has picked up the tab for her entourage during a stopover in Edinburgh on her Renaissance tour. She placed a Nando's order worth $4,000. It included 110 chicken burgers, 90 pittas and 9 chicken thighs, as well as some veggie options. The bill included £361 in tax. And one of the richest men in the world is walking down the aisle again. Amazon head Jeff Bezos and his girlfriend are engaged. And that's the latest from the Nova podcast team. We'll see you this afternoon for another episode of The Update.